There's a cat in the library. Really?
Miss Tiffany, Miss Tiffany, Miss Tiffany.
Hi friends, this is Miss Tiffany from the Miller Branch Library, and today I'm at the main library reading to a little kitty. Her name is Scarlet. A few months ago, she was rescued by the assistant director of the library. She was laying in the road. She was a teeny tiny scared kitten. And Ashley Hagen, who also works at the library, she's the special projects librarian, took her home and has nurtured her and loved her and named her Scarlet. I wanted to name her Kitty McCatface, but she disagreed, so now her name's Scarlet. Every week since Ashley took her home and rescued her, she'll bring her back to the library for a day and let me read a page out of this book to her. I'm going to read the first page of the story to her now, and then you can see her grow up. The story is called Dewey, There's a Cat in the Library. It's written by Vicky, Myron, and Bret, Witter. It's illustrated by Steve James. It's published by Little Brown and Company. Every night, people left books in the return box at the library in the small town of Spencer, Iowa. Funny books, big books, truck books, pig books, they left them all. But one night, on the coldest night of the year, someone left a strange surprise, a tiny kitten. When Vicky the librarian found him the next morning, the kitten was cold and scared and very, very dirty. Vicky took one look and decided to give him a warm bath. Don't jump. Oh, man. Vicky took one look and decided to give him a warm bath. The kitten went into the sink brown and crying, but he came back out orange and purring. I'm going to keep you, said Vicky, who already loved him. We'll name you Dewey, read more books. You can live here and be our library cat. But Dewey had no idea what it meant to be a library cat, so he did what other kittens do. He played. He lounged on the newspaper, rode the book cart, and knocked pins to the floor. He goofed around with Marty Mouse, snooped in every open drawer, and always found at least one rubber band. But what Dewey loved most of all was people. Tall ones, round ones, quiet ones, loud ones. The little ones, however, surprised him, and not always in a good way. Look, Nathan, said his mommy, there's a cat in the library. Nathan bent down and said, Hi, who Dewey works? No, said his sister Hannah, it's Dewey read more books. Dewey squirmed. The boy was petting him in the wrong direction. Dewey loved to be petted, but he hated being petted in the wrong direction. Dewey was licking his fur back in place when he heard a strange noise. What is that? Dewey's ears perked up. He looked around. Dewey sprang to attention and crept really slowly toward the sound. Come here. Oh, come here. Surprise! The little people, Dewey discovered, came in tiny sizes too, and they loved to giggle and grab and pull and coo. Babies are wonderful, Dewey thought, cute and smellilicious too. A few days later, Dewey went exploring and discovered in a secret room the most exciting thing he'd ever seen, Children's Story Hour. Wowsy whiskers, this looked fun, Dewey thought as he pushed into the room with his nose. Someone shouted, There's a cat in the library! Dewey froze. Wait, that's right. It was quiet for 1 minute. Then everything went wild. And the next thing Dewey knew, he was being carried upside down. Oh my, Dewey thought, what should I do now? Late that night, Dewey talked to his friend, Marty Mouse. The library's a wonderful place, Dewey said, but I'm tired of being pulled and poked and carried upside down. I'm not just a cat in a library. I'm a library cat. The library cat helps people. I think I'm 92% convinced that's the reason I'm around. Marty Mouse didn't say anything. I'm gonna do it, Dewey said. I'm gonna help people. And he felt so happy that he threw Marty Mouse into the air, kicked him with his back legs, then slept on him like a pillow. The next morning, when the first people arrived, Dewey was waiting to greet them right by the front door. All morning, Dewey acted like a library cat. He read with the mommies and grandmas. He helped the daddies work. He's in the briefcase. Do you think that's helping him work? He even shelved the books with the library clerk. When he saw little Nathan, he turned a circle and a half so the boy would pet his back from his head down to his tail, the right direction to pet a cat like that. I'm glad we're friends, Dewey, Louie, Nathan said. Dewey smiled at that. By lunchtime, Dewey was worn out, so he found a good box. First, he put his front paws inside, then his belly. He squished his back end down, wiggled around until he was all the way in and closed his eyes. There's an orange muffin in the library, a girl giggled. He does kind of look like a muffin. But just as Dewey was about to drift off into sweet kitten dreams, he heard a heavy sigh. His eyes popped open and he saw a girl on the other side of the library. A sad little girl reading very quietly all by herself. He climbed up close and stared at her. She looked the other way. He sniffed her hand. She wouldn't play. Yet. Hey! He knocked her mittens to the floor. She let them stay. Then he saw her jacket and had his best idea yet. She wants this treat. Here you go. Oh gosh. Silly always works. I'll be a silly cat today. The girl stared at Dewey. You look like a fuzzy hot dog in a purple bun, she said. And then she surprised him. She laughed right out loud. I love you, Dewey. Read more books, the girl whispered as Dewey nestled onto her lap and began to purr. This is it, Dewey thought. I'm a real library cat and it feels great. No, it felt better than great. It felt perfect. The end. Good job, Scarlet. For more fun programming, be sure and check out the library's YouTube channel. Tell everyone bye-bye, Scarlet.